introduction. I'm Naveen. I'm on Mimosa.
I'm Justin on Tan Oak.
I'm Rohit, I'm on Mimosa. I'm Krish from Eucalyptus Terrace.
I'm from Venkat from Eucalyptus. Oh, Barry. Sudeep from Eucalyptus.
Lucy from Mimosa.
So just want to put faces because you see some of the people talking on the WhatsApp, right? So anyway, Justin has been taking the initiative. There's a lot of things going on. So we have been seriously considering LPRs at this point of time, as is it's kind of visible on the WhatsApp channel, right? And Prasad has at least taken the initiative to get the details. Why we are looking at Flock is mainly because Capriana, we got good feedback from them, and they are connected to police department. So PD also has access to it, and anything that goes on, then they can kind of correlate information that's around from different communities. And they can even track, if they track a number where that car is, even in a different community, it does show up all that on there. So, but it's not that that's the final option. If anybody has any ideas or knows anything, feel free to share, right? But at least one company that people have started looking at. Now, to make these cameras effective, we need to also have input from the Fremont PD in terms of where they need to be located. And so we have reached out to Fremont Police Department as well, and the lady from Capriana, she has kind of given introduction. So I have sent out an email, and I'm waiting for a response from Officer Jason because he helped them out with Capriana, so I'm hoping that he helps us out with our community as well. And at least the plan currently is, we follow his recommendations in terms of where the camera needs to be placed. That way, we don't need to judge, we don't need to figure it out. They have the most experience, and that's how we want to go about. When I hear from them, and when he comes, I'm hoping he comes to visit. I would also want to have any additional questions that you may have in terms of security that you may want to ask him. Right? That way, at least I can put those queries and get the answers back on the WhatsApp channel so that everybody is here. I'm not the only one going to be. I'm going to make sure that at least a couple of people are additionally pulled in. But right now, I'm just coordinating him to come over here. And that's where things stand at this point from my end. Justin, you want to share anything?
So are we gonna look at patrols or no? Because some people wanted that. We need to make it clear.
Yeah. So
which we're going with.
Yeah. So patrol, in terms of patrols, as in from the Fremont Police Department?
No, like the community members, they wanted to hire patrols for our neighborhood. Yeah. So we need to make it clear.
Put it on the back burner for now and start with LPR at least, and probably get a quote from private patrolling.
So another way of doing the patrolling thing is, I mean, we talked about it and it used to be there a few years back, but it stopped. Maybe we take this question back to Homeowners Association and say, what happened? Why did it stop? Is it a budget constraint? If it's a budget constraint, what's the budget for it? And what does it have an impact, right, if we want to get it started? I had brought it up actually when police department had visited this community. They had some event at the park here, and having a private patrol versus a police car just taking a round once in a random time can make a significant difference because of their lights on. But it's really from their side a resource crunch, right? So till then, at least to the homeowners, we should take it back and say, guys, give us inputs on what happened to patrolling, why is it stopped? If it has to be started, what does it do? So does that make sense?
Yeah,
Does it sound right?
Yeah,
Maybe that's how we go about it.
We can also ascertain. In Hampton Place, they had private security,
Okay.
but they stopped it.
Yes.
The reason for that we have to ascertain, because in spite of the private security, there are a couple of break-ins there.
In spite of that.
Yeah.
Maybe ask
So-
them the police advice how useful to have a patrol.
Right.
What do they do? Does it make an impact? Is it worthwhile?
So that's a good question. I'll take it to Officer Jason and say, hey, if we are considering, is it worth it based on their data? They have enough statistics on that. I'll note that down as a question.
The private sector, unless they are going around constantly, I think if they are going to visit once in a 2 weeks, so once in a 2 hours or 4 hours, whatever interval, I don't know whether it will be effective. I think it will be effective, but unless there is a constant monitoring, right?
We asked them for statistics, right? We'll ask the officer, give us statistics, then we can look at it whether it's worth it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think one thing alone will do it.
Yeah.
Probably two, three things. Do we have enough lights on the street? That's another.
Some of the lights are blocked by the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those we can report to HIA by email or regular mail, they'll actually come and fix it.
Oh, they will?
They fix the broken bulbs, they actually cut the trees, it's their responsibility.
Can you
Trees generally it's the
put that email in
homeowner's
the-
responsibility, but the lights they can fix it.
If you can put that email in the chat, the light in front of my house, I need to cut that down.
Yeah, so I think, have you ever been to the our website, the HI website? Okay, you should try that, and because it's easy for them if you log the case over there rather than sending an email.
Okay.
Generally, they recommend actually log the so I think it automatically goes. If not, we can send the email.
Okay, so what we could do is we can have some document as part of the WhatsApp group that is a static thing, right? Right. Maybe we put, which is the link to homeowners association's website. Maybe folks haven't gone in. Let's just do that. That is a static page. Everybody can kind of look at it. Bank or links to our HOA. And we have a Zoom meeting coming up, right? I think it's important that people reach out to get the link for it.
Another update, right? So I talked to the security company and they said they can come and give a demo in the HI meeting. But I cannot actually ask them to come in without HI board approval. So I'm going to discuss that in the HI meeting.
So by the way, he's Prasad. He's the one who's following up with the flock.
Yeah, so I think we already got the information, right? It's 2,400 per camera per year and $350 one-time installation charge. I think it's pretty reasonable. It's not like too bad. And if you go look into the flock system, it's much more effective than other systems.
Plus other communities are using it, so it's better that we get into that.
Yeah, so the Fremont police also have the agreement with the company. So all we need to do is like one time give access and they can pull the data based on it. We don't really give access every time. They know how to pull the data based on time.
Sir, do we as residents also get access to the camera feed? Or?
Yes, we can. We can. So it's depending on like who have access rights. So mostly it's better for the HI board to handle it. 99% of the times you really don't need that.
Yeah,
As a
the question
member,
is, do we want to?
you don't need it.
Yeah.
The reason is, even if you look at the data, it does not make much sense for us anyway. All we can say, oh, somebody came in and this happened. Right? It's much more effective tool for Fremont police. We are kind of enabling them to, two things. One, basically, after the incident happens, we have enough data so that they can go after them. The second thing is, this is the primary thing, right? If you have the flock system, it seems like it's very effective and people are kind of working on it right now. Not only like this community, but there are like bunch of other communities also have it. So it's working pretty effectively in the normal.
Maybe if we have just captains of the street, they can get access if required. Otherwise,
It's not a big deal once we have the system in place, right? We can figure that out. My thinking is that itself cannot be a gated thing. So let's not worry about who can access right now. Let's get the system in place first. Let's look for that first. Then we can see the next step.
So cost-wise, how much per house per month, like extra per camera?
So each camera, when we calculate, it's about 85 cents per person per month.
Yeah, because I come to
Per camera.
labor.
Every single
yeah,
camera-
they cannot be this so
Correct,
cheap.
correct.
Yeah.
So
about
every single
$1 then
camera
let's
has
say.
about 85 cents per month.
Yeah, so if we did 5 cameras, only $5 per month, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because some of the labor, like
not
I
even
told them about
$5.
$1 per camera. They said no, kind of that's cheap. So maybe we can put it there. So people just worry about the cost when I talk to them.
Yeah.
So if
And,
they
the
feel
cameras,
it's not that expensive, then more people probably will be.
Yeah.
The cameras is all maintained by the company, and it doesn't require any power. It's all
Solar
run
power.
through the solar panel. It's a maintenance-free, power-free. Everything is basically it's a system on its own.
So Prasad, I think you want to clarify that we are not buying the cameras. We are kind of renting them.
We are renting it. Yeah.
The good
So
thing
we
about
don't
that
own
is
the cameras. We don't own basically the hardware and all that. And that's a good thing because when something breaks, somebody steals the camera, they'll come and replace it with a new one.
and tomorrow technology changes. We again have options.
Yeah, they keep updating those cameras as well. And I was driving around in Fremont City yesterday, and I have seen actually the Fremont City deploying flock cameras in the streets. So I've seen some of them actually in the streets. So I think it's a good tool that we can enable the Fremont police.
I think all those are important points. So when you speak up in the HOA board meeting,
I will definitely. So one Justin or somebody who can actually send a message to them and get the Zoom link and put it in the
WhatsApp, yeah.
WhatsApp.
I thought that you have to individually email for them to
No,
share.
it's-
No,
it's
it's a
standard.
common one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
I
common one, but
Last time I emailed and got the link and put it in the our local eucalyptus group,
Got it.
and people joined there.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah,
It's on 8th or the Wednesday, 7th.
7th.
7 p.m. Yeah, August 8th or 9th, August 9th.
No, 9th actually.
Yeah, August 9th. Yeah.
7
So
p.m.
we'll provide the date and the time and everything. Probably.
It is 7 p.m. but I don't know.
Let's not worry about the time. We'll send it in the email or in the WhatsApp group.
If they allow, it can be sent in the WhatsApp group that we have now. But I don't know. You were saying something that they
I
don't
did
allow
that
you
last
to
time.
send
Nobody
an email?
objected.
Oh, I was saying that they may not want us to post it because they told us to email, right? Otherwise, they would just post it on the sheet, right? The link, don't you think?
The board would be okay with that Zoom link to be on the WhatsApp group?
Last time I did that. Nobody objected.
Hey,
Oh, is that right?
we'll do it again. When they'll complain, they'll complain.
Objection had come up last time, so directly email or something. So we don't have to directly email to get the Zoom link.
Yeah, let's not worry too much about it. I did last time. They did not complain. Maybe it's a smaller group, but that's fine. If they complain, we'll figure out what's the next step. Okay? So that is these kind of small things we should let it slide through. Let's worry about the bigger
reason
problems.
The
Yeah,
reason is we are expecting more people to the
that's
come
fine,
to
right? I mean,
meeting.
Zoom can handle
And
it.
in the end, if you have to also email and get, that would be a hassle for many.
Here is the question I have, right? Justin, we sent out a message to group. How many people sent a message to the HOA requesting for security cameras?
I sent one.
Okay. We just need at least those people show up. So people, whoever sent the messages, right? Minimum, we want those people to show up and talk actually in the car. So they want, basically, we wanted to show them the strength, right?
Yeah, other one also, we have to remind people now that HO meeting is coming up.
Correct.
If they haven't sent the email, just send one. So that whoever.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that static page that Nathan, you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Probably because there are a lot of folks who recently joined. So if we have that page, that email template,
Yeah,
new
yeah.
ones can also use that.
Cool, yeah, that's definitely good. And people, whoever did not send the email, please do send it before the meeting.
And one more thing, Carol from the other group was saying about problem in this street, this public one, and also the same thing is with those owners who are on Commerce, Stanmark and all that.
Mhm.
So to keep in mind, I don't know, either for the HOA, maybe both, as well as the police department, on how to cover these two streets.
Yeah.
Just
So
a question. to
true.
ask.
Last time we had that question, right?
Right.
So Naveen actually took the responsibility to talk to the police department, to talk to them and get some ideas, right? How do we cover these exterior
Right.
side homes? Naveen,
So I updated
he must
before
have
you.
provided the update,
Yeah,
right?
so I updated before you came.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
basically, I sent a mail. Wednesday night or something, I sent a mail. Carol had introduced me to him,
Sure.
but I haven't heard from him. He hasn't acknowledged yet.
Got it. Okay.
So if I don't hear in another like Tuesday or so, then
Yeah.
next week I'll again.
Yeah,
remind.
that is definitely one thing that we wanted to cover. We don't want it to let the outside perimeter homes left out.
So-
That is not a good thing for
On the
anybody.
perimeter front, right? One thing additionally I'm observing is that on these streets now there is a lot of litter on Commerce Drive because cars that are parking here for sports or whatever. I mean, I've seen not just litter; it's like smokestacks and things
Yeah.
that you don't want to be littering around, right?
So
And I'm thinking, should we like really start thinking that is it a parking street? Do we want it? Does it matter if no parking zone?
It does matter. So I have been sending email to Fremont City with all the pictures of the litter that's been happening
Okay.
on Commerce Drive for about 2 years now. So every time I take a picture, I send it. I am actually putting those pictures in my Google Drive. So I have a history of what's happening on the Commerce Drive, especially after they created additional parking here, after they made additional parking on the street. One interesting, that's what I also sent out in the WhatsApp group and before. they did the street markings next to the homes without getting our homeowners approval. So Fremont City did that. So that is actually one of the problems that we face going forward because of the pandemic. Not many people park over there, but before pandemic, there was like a lot of company buses come here.
Yeah.
All these places are like parked by not our
Commuters.
city
But
people,
ride sharing, I have seen
from
that.
people
Lot of
from
ride sharing
Union
guys.
City, Hayward, Fremont, other side, a lot of other places.
So did they respond to you when you complained?
Fremont City didn't respond. Yeah, I even once like 4 years ago I went to the Fremont City town hall meeting. It's basically like residents can speak.
Uh-huh.
I was literally fighting with them. How are they allowing without getting any homeowners approval or homeowners feedback? How are they allowing actually the buses to come in and park inside the car market park and letting the people park in the streets? So they did, but they don't respond. It's not really a
It's
great
worth
place
probably
to
taking
fight.
this up also with Officer Jason when he comes. That's
Yeah,
one thing.
yeah.
But I think Teresa King came here. She said, okay, whatever concerns you have to present.
Let me tell you, Naveen, they come here, they have an
I know.
agenda,
I
okay?
know.
So they agree with everything that we discuss here, but nothing happens unless they put it as an action item in the meeting.
Understand.
So we need to go and strive for that action item, okay? We want to discuss this item in the Fremont City town hall meeting or say like, the monthly meeting or bi-monthly meeting as a residence problem
Yeah.
that we are facing.
Correct.
So we need to strive for that.
Right.
So,
So-
complaining and all that is fine, but they do look at it once in a while.
The reason I
But-
brought up was step 0, right?
Yeah.
Do we have any concerns that if we start pushing that residents ourselves will start saying, no, I would want the parking lot to be there. Right? As long as we agree, then the next step is, okay,
Correct.
it's through HOA or wherever it is coming, but it's the community requirement that this is going to be no parking zone. Right?
I don't think they will agree for no parking in commerce,
Yeah.
but at least we can fight to remove some parking spot next to our homes. Previously, there was no parking in front of all the homes on the Commerce Drive. Now they marked it so anybody can park. So that itself is actually a problem. You have to go by you have to peel the onion piece by piece. You cannot go into the center
Absolutely.
directly and tell them no parking and commerce. They don't agree. So you have to tell them, hey guys, previously there was no parking next to the home. Why did you do it without even asking for homeowners approval?
So which
And
means
it
you're
was
saying
not
on
even on
that
a ballot.
side, earlier it was blocked on that side, but this side it was still allowed.
Exactly. So those kind of things, there are few points that we can put together and then send out those emails and messages to the Fremont City and get them actually come and take a look at it first and get it resolved for us. The HOA meeting, first thing security cameras, we need to get them going. And second thing is parking enforcement inside the community. Those two are the most important things that we need to handle. And one more thing, last night there was an incident happened in front of my home. It's not really an incident. There is a car came, stopped in front of my home. The moment I peeked out of the window, they ran away. It's a white car. Then the same car came at 1:40 in the morning because I got some sounds and I opened the window and I just got woke up. Opened the window, same car came.
Is it a white coupe?
It's the white car, yeah.
Is it a coupe or is it a?
It's a coupe.
Okay, I have a video of that. So
Yeah.
one of my package was stolen from the front door.
Yeah.
It's a white coupe. The guys came in at around 6:15 a.m.
Yeah.
just after Amazon Fresh dropped their order.
Yeah. So
So I have the video. I've already put it.
they are coming. I noticed that.
I'll
last
send
night.
you the. Maybe I'll just post the video.
Yeah. Yeah. So the moment I opened the window, it made some sound. They ran away immediately. They stopped right in front of my home. But for some reason, my camera didn't actually capture anything because it's a Wi-Fi based camera. I don't know, something is wrong, or maybe it didn't pick it up, or they did
In my
something.
video, like the guy is clearly visible his face and everything.
Okay, good. Yeah, maybe we should report it to the police because I can also add.
No, I already
points
did.
on it. Okay,
So
good.
they said that they'll just watch out.
Yeah.
And one more thing I would like to add because how many of us have attended the HOA meeting? I have.
I haven't.
So we need to say that the HOA will say or board
second thing I would say is that at least given that we have started being active on WhatsApp, we have formed a group. It'll be good if the board is also start getting more involved with us. That way, since they are our voice, right? It is better if they are also involved in
See,
these
the
things.
thing is, I have stayed here forever, but at the same time, I don't understand these regulations much. But they always encourage that you read, some simple things like the parking regulations or the front yard, how it should be maintained. Like somebody was saying that there is bushes that cover the window.
Yeah.
So telling your gardener or whoever is doing it, put it till the height of the window or something. So certain things, and then the sign somebody put up. So the signboards are not visible. So or the lights are not working. So some of these things we can help by saying because they are also just like us residents. They may see some, they may not see some. But being more involved is what matters down the line.
Yeah, sure. But I remember that earlier, we used to get a notice. Let's say if we haven't mowed the lawn properly.
They don't
I don't
send
know
that
whether
no
that
more.
happens or not because
Actually,
we don't.
they used to send. I don't know why they haven't. Maybe they sent, but the residents didn't respond.
They don't send anymore.
Or they weren't enough people who were complaining. See, so that's what it is. I think numbers count, right? If there are enough people showing concern.
I received a warning from HOA regarding a structure in my backyard. That was like 2 years ago. So somebody did that.
Okay.
All right. I believe somebody must have complained, and then the HOA do something. But then when I walk around, I see maybe over 10 houses have structure that's visible on the street. So I guess there are three things, right? We have a regulation, all right, or guidelines. There has to be enforcement. There also needs compliance from the residents, right? If nobody cares, we have structure that's so big you can see on the outside, and then I wonder why mine was this much, maybe several inches above the fence, got a complaint. Others has like 2 feet above the fence. It's been going on for years.
They need to be consistent.
So I guess it depends on whether the resident comply,
Right.
the complaint corrected, or the warning letter is just going through the motion, and then there's no consequence. Same thing with parking, right? We're not supposed to park on the street until you park on your driveway. Then you go to the street. But you can see nobody park in the driveway and then they
Four
park.
cars allowed per house
Yeah.
based on the fact that 2 in the garage and 2 on the driveway, but people are not following that.
Yeah.
Now if there are enough complaints, because even a gardener or even a guest or even a repairman, they park wherever in front of your house, they don't have a place to park. So that is a very serious issue that we should bring it
But
up.
I think I want to move all those discussion in a different meeting.
No, those are the things that we have in the pipeline, but like, okay, so nonetheless, we have for the lights part. So it's like we are here to talk about it and express our concerns and also our experiences. Like regarding the decoration lights, those Christmas lights.
Uh-huh.
So mine went into January, mid, I got a letter, and that was few years ago. So I think somebody complained, or the board member happened to see it, and then they gave out few houses. Maybe there are few houses that they're not being able to notice or something. But these are some simple things, that we all should be aware, and maybe send it out also in the WhatsApp so people become more aware, and also send the fact that please do go through the CCRs, and if you have a question, you can always ask. And there's another thing, they always send year-end statement. Whoever the financial person will understand what are the expenses, the money part, so and where it is being spent.
I think the majority of the money goes to management.
What is that?
Majority of the money goes towards the management company itself.
I think that is in any company.
And you can't avoid that.
Yes. So we need an idea why. Where is the money going from?
But I think in general, I've been there 25 to
Right,
25 years. But we want to pick the battles we can. Yeah. Right, like as far as cars go, try talking to neighbors, see if you can solve it. A lot of times it is a solvable problem with your neighbors. If not, I guess you bubble it up. But like you said, the board members are all volunteers. They can only, they've asked for volunteers to be the board members. but they don't get any. So,
Yes,
you know, we want to be careful
They can
how much
only
we
do
go
so
after
much.
that.
Yeah.
So let's pick
No,
what
what
we
we
want to
can do,
find.
we can complain.
No, but pick the complaints you want, legitimately want to complain, right?
The
You
thing is, I
make
don't
them
want
like,
them to be
there
held
are some
accountable.
cars
What I want is that given that we have started taking initiative, they also get involved, so they become our true voices.
that's a good start, right?
Right,
Ask
that's a
them
good
if
start.
they can come and maybe take part in this.
Yes, exactly.
The other question the board we asked is, being part of this concern, you have made this or collected some information, who is going to cheerlead it? Are you going to volunteer? So we should also be mentally prepared that who
It
has
does not
enough.
work like that in the HOA community setting. The way it works is whoever finds the problem, it is his responsibility or responsibility to send a letter to the HOA asking, okay, this is the problem that I identified, how we can fix it. It does not go and actually say, okay, I take up all the items and go work with them. It does not work like that because
No, not like
they
that.
wanted to know what is happening in the community and they wanted to record everything.
That is the legal point, right? To have minutes and all that. But what I'm trying to say is they also want volunteers to take up a cause, a group or something, not that we depend on them alone. So they need
I would like to stop all these discussions right now because we are here to talk about the
Yes, yes, yes.
license plate.
No, I'm
There are a
saying-
lot of issues. Like this gentleman said, we need to take our battle. The HOA can only do so much.
No,
So let's agree on the license plate reader
Right.
and all the other issues have a separate
one after
meeting and
another,
talk about it.
Correct.
So my point right now is on the license plate reader. We have a lot of concern about the public street. But when you look at the street, the layout, the only cameras we need is Commerce, Ten Oaks, Tupelo. That's all.
Yeah.
3 cameras. And that will cover all the outside street.
Correct.
And that also covers our street. Alright? When we have a camera inside, then you can make the time connection. Alright? Somebody enters through Tupelo, 2 minutes later shows up in Mulberry. Right? And then you can make that connection. The police can use all this information. We don't need to use this information.
Yeah.
No, no, I
So
am,
if we have cameras on
Right.
these streets, it serves a deterrent. All right, we're not going to stop all the criminal
I am
activity.
just putting out
So
possible
I guess
questions.
that's my point. Is if we were to put cameras on Commerce, Ten Oaks, Tupelo, how are we going to
Yeah.
divide up
I mean,
the
the
calls
police
and
people will
to
come
get
in.
the
Definitely
city
a very good
approval
point, yeah.
and all that. So actually, it's a very simple solution for the whole community.
Correct.
For Capriana, Vantage, and the other communities, even including California.
The new
Meadow.
Patterson Ranch also it will help.
Yeah. So I think this is not just a California vintage issue. It's our community.
Correct.
All right. So if we look at the bigger picture, we will get a better solution. All right. And I think we just started it.
So
And-
one interesting thing is Capriana has cameras.
Yeah.
The new Patterson Ranch has cameras.
Yeah.
And there is actually a community, I think California
Meadows.
Meadows, right? They also have cameras.
Oh.
Yeah, because I saw the boards and everything over there. I did not go into the street to find out real cameras there, but they have boards and everything. I believe they do have. And these guys definitely have cameras. I don't know whether they are connected or not, but they do have cameras. So in the middle, our community doesn't have any cameras, so anybody can come in and do whatever they want. That's what is happening. And the second thing, this is what I actually talked in the meeting with Fremont, the council members and everybody is here, including the police, right? They set up cameras in the Fremont city, but they did not set it up in certain entrances. So definitely our community entrance is coming from Union City and also from 84 Dumbarton. Now no cameras are there. Nowhere
Prasad,
cameras are there.
that's
So-
been driven by police department. That's been driven by city.
But Prasad, there are cameras installed here at gas station.
Here it is there,
Gas
not
station.
this side.
Autonomous farm
Yeah, exactly. Autonomous farm is there, but not on this side. Nothing from Kaiser Street, nothing from Autonomous
Paseo
Road,
Drive.
Paseo Parkway, nothing is there. So that's what I mentioned. So exactly what we need to do, this is what I am thinking, this is what I've been actually advocating, this is what I've been talking for from all the meetings, right? First we need to set up cameras in our community and then go work with the city just keep sending mails or work with them or go to their town hall meetings and discuss all those things, right? And tell them that to install the cameras that will help the community, not only our home site, the entire community. So police can actually find out what's happening when things go wrong, right? So they can, are the people coming from Union City? They have cameras. If the people are coming from this side of the Hayward, they have cameras. So if the people are coming from 84, Palo Alto, that area, right, they have cameras. So those things we want. That's what the next step, right?
Yeah.
First thing is our security cameras. That's exactly what I'm planning to discuss in the meeting.
Okay. So basically,
Can you do a favor, Prasadji, regarding that camera thing you wanted us to email, right?
Yes.
So could you just put a little bit format?
I think it was
it's already there.
There is already.
Yeah, it was already.
Could you re-put that?
I saw that in the group.
Me and Justin worked one night.
Yeah, he wrote a thing.
Yeah, set up the email. What to write in the email, right?
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, we can repost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from WhatsApp you can only see whatever from when you join it.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened before.
You cannot see, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with the WhatsApp. Yeah.
So
The new joint come
my thing and my interest. This is what actually I've been looking at. I think things will work if we do it. Probably other ways can work too. But first thing is we need to tell what is the high priority thing, and we need to tell the problem. We need to tell a solution to it. Otherwise, nobody is going to solve our problem. So that's the bottom line. So we have to don't mix like too many things. Come up with like one or two things that is actually workable and doable and agreeable in the meeting, and then finish them off. Once they are done, go to the next one.
Yeah.
Don't flock too many things in the one meeting. That will confuse everybody. Nobody is going to discuss the real problem, and it's all going to the bottom of the pile, which we don't want to do.
Could you do that?
That's what I've been telling, right? I'm going to talk about two things in the next meeting. One is the cameras, other one is the parking enforcement. That's it. No, I'm not going to discuss any other problems in the community except these two.
And you're going to do the police part?
That's for the cameras only, right? The fact is we have reached them out. We have reached it out, so we want them to come visit, tell us where the points where these cameras need to be put, and we go from there.
Yeah, once we agree on the cameras,
But-
I think next step is going to be
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's these 2 points is what we should, I think, focus on.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders over here so that we all going to feel, oh, who's doing that, So,
other
Regarding the parking and the common, it's eligible for the harassment of us to raise up the town hall meeting. Because if she brings a resolution there to the committee, that has to be acted upon by the city.
Right.
Town hall meetings, public grievances, they are not being addressed. But council member resolution, they have to be acted. So we have to request our council member to take it up.
the other thing regarding the parking, I saw in another complex, one of my friends was saying that they were having all types of cars, not even from the neighborhood park. So what now they did was have it as a guest parking. So,
We don't have spaces for guest parking.
no, I think we have some.
Yeah, it was discussed in the meetings like probably 8 years ago, and it didn't go anywhere.
Just to be clear, when you say parking enforcement, you're only talking about
No, parking enforcement are never coming inside the entire.
with the police department. You just
Police department only commerce, only public street. Commerce, Tupelo,
That's it.
and that's it.
Someone,
No
even
other
if
areas.
just 3 cars or 4 cars can be put, but all residents put their cars over there.
So the CCR says, let me explain you. CCR says every home can have maximum 4 vehicles. Cars, no RVs, nothing. Cars of a certain size, up until 12 feet or something. You can have up to 4 vehicles per home. If you have anything more than that, you cannot park in the community. Okay? First thing anybody can do is you have to park your vehicles 2 in your garage first. If they cannot park it in the garage, you have to make sure it's parked in the garage. Then you can the next thing is you can park in front of your home, which is your driveway, not your street. If you cannot do that, then you can park it actually the outside. Outside parking is all for guests only. It's not actually intended for homeowners. But now in our community, what is happening is every single homeowner is parking the car first on the street, and they are doing in the reverse order. First on the street, and then they are leaving it there, not attending, nothing. You know, I see some cars that been sitting there for like years, never moved.
Expired license plate too.
Expired license plates. They don't bother about the cars, and
That
the
is
cars are
another-
sitting there. Let me finish. Cars are sitting there for years, right? So for last 2 years, I've been asking, not more than that actually. I've been asking HOA to enforce the parking. That is the most important thing. Otherwise, we don't know whose car is it. Is it a homeowner's car or somebody else's car which is leaving there, you know, keeping them an escape route? Right? If we don't know whose car is it there and it is sitting there, it can be possible an escape car for a thief, an escape car for a burglar, or escape car for somebody who can actually commit a crime there. So that we need to fix. That is the reason why I said we need to enforce the parking. That is the reason behind, you know, me going and asking that question and requesting for that. Otherwise, you know, if somebody parks it, that's fine. If it's a homeowner, it's okay, because sometimes they have problem with the car, they cannot move it, and those kind of things, right? That can happen because my van catalytic converter was stolen. I parked it like 3 days. Fourth day I'm about to move, it's gone, and I cannot move the car anywhere. So I just kept it there for 2-3 weeks until I
Will they
sorted
give
out
a
all
parking
the.
permit in that case to the homeowners?
I don't think it's gonna help.
No, but any car without the permit then can be towed away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that we
that's
can
a good
discuss.
idea.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So let's worry about 3 days. Whatever it is already there in the CCR, enforce it first. You know, let's not go for the new rules. 3 day, the enforcement says 3 days, 72 hours. Somebody will tow away a car. Basically, they put the towing company name, right? It used to work very well actually, initial days, but I think 5-6 years things gone totally.
But I think our priority is still the license plate reader.
Exactly. So the first thing is the security cameras. Second thing is the parking enforcement.
Emotional.
Correct.
And so it may take forever.
Correct.
The parking, no. The license plate reader is an immediate problem.
Correct.
The crime is going.
So the
haywire.
flock
We need to
person
stop
said that the camera that they put it there, it also works as a license plate reader.
Yeah.
It's automatic. So some places where they don't want cameras, they want only license plate readers. There is a new, they have a license plate reader also. They can put it there because he said one camera is good enough, which can do both works. So you don't really need to put LPR separate.
Better to have both, right? Camera plus LPR.
One system has both. It can recognize the.
Easy to trace that.
But I think the point being that what we should be recommending, what we are recommending is that it should be a combination, right? Not just license, but
Yeah.
we want the camera.
It has both actually.
Maybe you guys already discussed, but if we have homeowners association board volunteers in our neighborhood, can they come?
Yeah, we want them, but I haven't seen anybody really coming in. So this would be a good thing, right? Now, homeowners, the HOA, that meeting that we have on August, we basically talk about that as well, right? Because
Oh,
it's
they
kind of
cannot
all
escape
clubbed
that
together.
meeting. So that's why I'm asking everybody to come and join and discuss the problem. These are informal meetings, right? That is mandated by the CCR. The HOA meeting is mandated by the CCR.
Yeah, I know I'm saying if the board members from our community were volunteering, they also come in our meeting. And
They can, I think they are allowed.
So the thing is, what I'm thinking is,
they are not
they don't know.
Only one.
only
They
one.
may be
okay.
quiet. They don't know whether they are what's going on. HOA is a good forum where we say, guys, you need to be part of this.
yeah,
Right? So there they will be there. They don't have a choice.
yeah.
We force it through that channel, right?
I think what
And
we can
we
do-
also come to know who they are. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
right? So we are also guilty to.
They
some
are also
aspect, right?
homeowners. I mean,
Right.
they are part of 140, 240 homes that we have.
Right.
So they are not outside.
Anybody knows who those folks are?
We only know the names.
One person named Arun, I think he said something.
Arun is not a board member anymore.
No more?
He's not in there. Yes, moved over to.
No, it's a different. It's a different Arun.
No, Arun Naniseti is not board member anymore.
Oh, he's not.
He is not.
Oh.
So anyways, I think in the board meeting we can ask them that we are meeting and
Yeah,
maybe
we
we'll
can-
have
we
a
can.
follow up after the board meeting. Maybe the weekend after
Sure.
that we can all meet and ask them to join us.
Sure.
I think any meetings strength in numbers makes a difference.
Yeah, strength in numbers.
That's the point. If you don't show.
Yeah, strength in numbers, you have to voice only one opinion altogether. You do not want to have conflicting things. And if anybody, homeowners, we fight each other in the meeting, we are not going to go anywhere.
Right.
So if we have any differences, let's work it out before we go to the meeting, and then come up to the common ground. So everybody has to come to the common ground. Okay, this is what we wanted to do. This is what we wanted to do.
What
Right?
are we proposing regarding parking? Sorry, excuse me. I mean, I understand regarding cameras, but
Parking enforcement. Whatever it is there in the CCR, we want to enforce it.
The rules are already defined.
Yeah,
The
rules are
question
already
is why
there.
are they not being enforced? That's what we are.
Exactly. So the rule says you cannot park on the street for more than 72 hours. You cannot park the cars on the street without valid license. And it's basically like, if you park it there, they'll throw it away.
but if owners park it for some reason, so you need to have some provision, right?
It doesn't matter who owners are outside people, the maximum time is 72 hours on the street.
No, I understand. No, what I'm trying to say, let's say you have your doing some repair or put there or
Yeah, you can do that.
So there's no identification like somebody was saying that a tag or something like that which identifies, let's say.
I don't think HOA issues anything like that.
Yeah. So far they haven't.
Yeah.
But
So that's the next thing. Next step.
Yeah, next step.
We can recommend them. Okay, we need to. Hey, send us actually these many passes so that people can put it on their car.
know there have been escape vehicles?
There are things like.
No, I mean in our neighborhood. And the reason I'm asking is
If I know the vehicle is an escape vehicle, I will
hang
report
on.
to police right away. Right?
No, hang on,
It's
hang on.
very.
Let me finish. My point is, it is a very hard thing to enforce. In the big picture, it is a good thing to do, right? A city, when it does parking enforcement, there is an army behind it, and they have a hard time doing 72 hours.
Hmm.
They used to enforce the expired license plates. I don't know when they stopped it, because I know they used to do
Yeah,
that. They used to give notices
they used to do
before.
that, and also. See what
So
happens
my
is
point
there
is
is
when
a
you go
towing
to them,
company.
when you go to them,
There is a
have
towing
an open
company.
mind, and
Sure,
whether it's
sure,
possible or
definitely,
not, right?
definitely. We can tell them this is what we wanted.
The cameras are more important.
Yeah.
Parking on commerce is very important.
Yeah.
I think this falls below
Parking
the
on commerce, it's actually
It's a
does
city
not
thing,
fall
but,
under the HOA.
True, but if the HOA also goes
Sure.
with us,
Yeah,
it
we can
helps.
ask. We can ask.
I think this follows below,
Yeah,
below that.
Sure, sir. I mean, we can make the points, right? This is what we wanted to discuss, and let's discuss those points.
I think everybody agrees that cameras are the top.
Yeah. Top is the camera.
Yeah.
We just need to get that going. So that is the
I think
most
if we can
important.
get that, at least nailed down.
And also one more thing is regarding the meeting time and date. Is everybody okay with every week meeting at 4 or?
Oh, this meeting? Oh, it's not going to happen every week.
yeah, it's not very practical.
It's important to get the security thing going. That's the reason everybody's coming. And if we say every week, nobody's going to show
Yeah.
up.
So should we kind of down the line, just a thought?
Well, let's figure out. That's the next thing, right? Let's figure out what happens in the HOA meeting. Then we can always communicate on the WhatsApp group. And if there is meeting necessary, we can discuss and say, hey, we're meeting here on this day. Just come over. Let's discuss about this problem, right? And that kind of makes sense. That's what I'm thinking.
Regarding the security.
Hey, I need to go right now.
Yeah.
Any questions on the cameras?
I think there is a consensus here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I think we can just start.
I
Sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to put out that sometime back.
No,
we
I need to
tried.
go. That's why I'm asking. Are we all okay with the cameras?
Yeah,
Any
we are
other
okay.
questions?
What if there is anybody in the community who is not here?
Well, at least 15 of us are representing, right? So
Correct.
Prasad can talk about it. So
Let me tell you this,
already has
right?
done all the-
Starting
I
from
cannot
zero, we are
talk
much better
about
off.
you. I can talk about myself here. This is what I wanted in
No,
our
I think
community.
at least do this.
So
15
what we can do, what we are doing now, right? Hey, this is what we discussed. This is the point, the best point that we are going to discuss in the HOA meeting. We can send out that message in the WhatsApp group, and if they have any problems or anything, they can talk to us, and
So they have a chance
or
to
they can
voice.
come to the meeting and see what.
How many members have joined the residents here?
I think it's like 115.
Yeah.
There
Group
are, we
is
have got around
115,
235 houses.
240.
And how are you going to reach the other people?
We're not.
So do we need to? That's the other thing, right?
We have, yeah, the HOA is gonna have to do that.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a security thing. HOA should be able to take care of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? We cannot reach to everybody. What they can do if we say, okay, if HOA come back and say, hey, we need concession from all 240 people, they can put it actually in the newsletter.
Yeah.
That's what I think. At least we have to force
If
them.
you don't object, we're gonna enforce this in the next
Exactly.
thing.
Don't object means it's,
Exactly.
you're agreeing to it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, then we.
I have to go. I need to run.
Okay, thanks for coming.
So,
Okay, that was good.
anything
Yeah,
else?
that's
Let's
priority.
discuss in the WhatsApp group.
No, I
Yeah.
think in the board meeting, why don't you be the voice at least one of
Yeah,
us
exactly,
on that?
sure.
So 15, you can say that 15 of us we have been meeting and
Yeah.
you're representing us.
or anything, that's fine.
No problem.
But we still need to be present.
Yeah.